We'd like to introduce Bent Johansen from Vattenfall Vindkraft, who has the operation and maintenance responsibility for all the turbines owned by Vattenfall in Denmark. Our first question is if you have to be called Vattenfall in order to build your own service organization.
No, that's not necessary. I think what is quite important is that it is, of course, a company of a certain size, because there are some key competences that you have to have in the organization to do the maintenance yourself, and you also have to have a certain size to lift the responsibility of the warranty doing it yourself. So no, you don't need to be Vattenfall, but you need to be in a certain size, to have a certain size, yeah.
Which are the on a minimum level, which are the key competences you need to have in order to build your own service organization?
There are, of course, some technical competences that you have to build up and do that during some years, I think. Other key competences is more the steering of the maintenance process, I think, is important. You can lose a lot if you don't have an overview of what you're doing, and if you can't plan what you're going to do in the future. So that's a quite important competence, also to follow up the work you're doing, to improve the turbines and the service and maintenance in the future.
Could you just describe your journey, the biggest milestones from taking over the responsibility for operations and maintenance?
You know, the journey for Vattenfall really started in Denmark, which I know best, before we became Vattenfall, because already when we started negotiating on the Horns Reef wind farm, we worked together with Vestas, finding a model where we could be part of the maintenance also during the warranty period, and found that. And that was, of course, because we wanted, when the warranty period ended, we wanted to have the possibility to go elsewhere than Vestas, not to be locked in a situation where we could only buy the maintenance from one supplier. That was quite important for us, and that was really where the journey started for us.
You said during your speech, you said the turbine is mine and the data is mine. Do the manufacturers completely agree with you on that one?
We had for many years discussed access to data from the turbines, and it's the same discussion every time. Do we, as the owner of the turbine, have access to the data that the turbine is producing during its lifetime? And I think that we are owning the turbines. We have paid for it. It's ours. We are handling it during the lifetime. And I think also that because of that, we own also the data from the turbine. And up to a certain time, the manufacturers had a little bit difficulty with that. I think it's getting better and better. But yeah, there has been problems getting the right data to optimize the production from the turbines and to correct the failures in the turbines.
Are there still any data that are locked in for you, or you have full access?
Today we have not full access to all the data in the turbine, but I will say 95% of the data we have access to. There are some data in the SCADA system that we can't get into. If we get that in the future, I don't know, but that's the situation right now.
And which data is this that you're missing?
It's some of the parameters in the SCADA system which affects the lifetime of the turbine and the safety in the turbine. And that's, I think, data which the turbine manufacturers keep very close to themselves, also because of safety reasons.
But data considering the lifetime of the turbine should maybe be of interest for you as an owner.
They are very much as an interest to us, but we can always discuss if we should have the possibility to change them. As a big manufacturer, we won't change these parameters without being fully sure that we don't do anything that affects the safety of the turbine, and that's really the important part of our access to it.
Which internal core competences regarding operations and maintenance is creating value for Vattenfall Vindkraft?
The competences that are creating most value for us is doing the planning, doing the follow-up on the maintenance process and the operation process. We are using a lot of our work to optimize the turbines, to see to that they are producing optimal when the wind is blowing. So that's some of the key competences that we are working very much on. Of course, there's a lot of technical competences also during the maintenance process, which is important. But these optimizing skills of getting most out of the turbines is quite important for us.
You give some example of some of the technical core competences that you want to have in-house.
What is important for us to have in-house is people who is capable of sitting down, analyzing the big amount of data that we are creating in the turbines, to see how can we optimize the production from the turbines, how can we predict the lifetime of the critical components, and especially going offshore. That is important because it's very costly to go offshore working on the turbines. So it's important to could analyze the data to predict the future, to predict the lifetime of the components.
You were also mentioning maintenance planning systems, and I know that many wind power owners are looking for good solutions for this. And my question is if there is a lack of software for the wind power industry, or if it is the other way, that the wind power industry has to adapt to those planning systems that are available.
There are a lot of maintenance systems, planning systems on the market, and I have been working with some of them during my time in the business, both in the power station business and also in the wind turbine business. And I think the wind turbine business is not so different from other businesses that we need to have our own system. I think we can adapt the systems existing on the market to our business also and use them there. So more complicated, isn't it?
One final question. You mentioned Horns Rev, and I wonder if Vestas in the Horns Rev project would have given you full access to all the data. Could that in any way have given you a different direction for your operations and maintenance strategy?
During the entire lifetime of the Horns Reef project, we have had a lot of problems with various components out there. We have had a fantastic good cooperation with Vestas also, but in the beginning, I think we could have had a better cooperation, sharing the data, working together, solving the problems. We have a large organization, and we have a lot of knowledge in the organization also, and we want the manufacturers on our projects also to use that to get better projects. So I think, yes, in the beginning we could have had a better cooperation with Vestas opening some of the data from the turbines directly to us.